At Pisgah Revival Hope, we strive for truth and attaining God's lens of realities. You're welcome.
When you marry a girl, that what is called marriage is agreement. That if we wake up in the morning and we say, honey, what shall we have this morning? And she says, cornflakes. And I say, oh, that sounds good, let's have it. That we have just done marriage. Do you understand that? That's marriage. Boom, boom. That if she says, let's have cornflakes, and I say yes, and she starts preparing it, and I say, no, I'm not going to eat cornflakes. I change, you have your cornflakes, and I go off. I'm breaking marriage. Because marriage is agreement. And in agreeing, we must go 50-50. I come 50% of the way, you come 50% of the way. So you leave your position, your hard position. I leave my hard position. And we agree that that middle course where we meet is marriage. Marriage is done, and the name of the Lord is glorified. Now this definition of marriage is true for friendships, because there is marital friendships. When you say, this is my friend, as far as God is concerned, what you are saying is, I'm married to this position. Do you understand me? That's the reason why when you become disloyal to a relationship, the other person, his heart is broken or her heart is broken, because you are breaking marriage. That's why we go to extents just to protect our marital positions. Do you understand me? If you say something nasty about my friend, I get upset because you are talking about my friend to whom I'm married. My mother is a terror in my life. You know how you put a magnet on your papers on your table so that the fan doesn't blow it away, yeah? You know that, yeah? You put a bottle or you put something carrying some weight so it keeps your papers from the wind blowing them away, isn't it? Now, that's how my mother has become in my life. So my mother drilled every discipline into me. That's why she's telling you her mother was her pastor. Do you understand that? Her first pastor. Very few people have x-rayed their lives like that. To be able to stand and tell you, this is where I started, this is where I entered, this is where I am now. And until you can say that, nothing exceptional is going to come out of you and of what you are doing. So my mother drilled so much and so many things inside my life. I'm not the kind of person that reasons. I don't know, I hear people teaching in your generation, don't beat your children, speak to them. If you beat them, you subject their reason. Speak to them so that they can become reasonable and can go, hey, me, you want to speak to me? When my mother says, drop that thing, I will just be looking at her, like, who are you talking to? Until she carries pistol, what she's using to pound the yam. When she leaves, drop it or I'll kill you. Then I will look at the pistol. Imagine the thing that will happen to my head when it lands. Then I will drop the knife and stand up. Every time my mother wanted me to do something, she had to add or. In fact, one day, one of my greatest jokes in the beer parlor was an or joke. They said they had an amala joint, a pounded yam joint. So one skinny guy came and stood on the queue for over an hour, and it wasn't his turn because people were choosing meat. Yes, con, yes. Eti, con, yes. Ese babankano, meji, yeah. Okan, yes. You know, my mother, how did you hear that I'm in town? Buki, sit down. I love you. Did you get that? So the boy was standing on the queue. And he got tired. And then one hefty guy, bully, walked in, sat down on a table, cleared the plates that were there and just arranged a space for it. He said, Ambrose. So the guy serving the food said, Jumbo, you give me 2 eba. Ogbonna soup without. That means he didn't have money for meat. So give me the eba, ogbonna soup. without, and do it quickly. Or, so Ambrose said, no problems now. Then he left the people who were on the queue and went and served jumbo. So this guy felt angry. Now, boy, like me. In fact, I told Pastor, boy, you be like spaghetti. Jumbo, if you see an Iroko. So this guy too left the queue and went and sat down. Ambrose! Ambrose! Give me 3 pounded yam, 2 meat, and 1 coke. Or. So Ambrose left the kitchen and came and stood in front of him and said, or what? Whatever you want to do, do it now. My mother used that word, or, that when I heard this story, it became one of my favorite jokes. Everywhere I get drunk, I must tell the story of or. God doesn't speak to you a language that doesn't resonate with your being. So I disobeyed my mom to the point that until you tell me or, then I will compare the repercussion and the action. Then I will do it. So he said to me, get out of this country, get back home, or I'll kill you. When he spoke, it was my mother I heard. 2 weeks, I was out of England. In fact, the 2 weeks I'd already worked in the McDonald's. I didn't even wait to collect the salary. The girl had to follow me home and was apologizing, thinking that the way she spoke to me was what made me yari, that I don't even want my money. Me, Nigerian, pound sterling. Even if you like curse my father, just give me the money. Abi? Yeah. Afterwards, I'll use the money to wash away the curse. You know, so talk. Fella sang a song, he said, slap me, make I get money. It was number one. My mother drilled a lot of things inside my life. And later, I found out that these were scriptural things the poor Baptist woman was teaching. They were poor Baptist things. I mean, scriptural things. But she was doing them to the best of her ability. And the best of her ability included kicks, punches, and slaps. And it was necessary because I was a rascal. So monkey no dey born good. She knew what she gave birth to. So she had to beat the thing out. You know, most of the times parents want to beat you to line up with what they failed to line up with. Do you understand me? A father beats you because he sees himself and he wished that he had listened to those things when he was younger. So he's actually sparing you his shame and giving you a game that will make you excel beyond where he got to. And we're always upset. One day my junior brother said to my mother, don't be talking to me anyhow. I'm 16. And she said, oh, thank God you are 16. Me, I stopped growing. Do you understand me? You know, when we look at ourselves and you are 18, 20, what do you tell the truth? Do you think your mother grew? You don't know. That's why our mothers and fathers die suddenly on us. Because when our mothers are dying, we don't even notice. We're still telling her, hey, Mommy, didn't you cook anything? And it is that labor that's killing her. Do you understand me? And she's shielding it from you. She's shielding her slow process of dying because she's insisting to do exactly what you want. You're always her baby. Do you get that? We sat with my father and a doctor, and the doctor checked my father, checked his BP, checked it. My father, meticulous headmaster. He would wear long socks to his knees and put his biros there. Do you understand me? Red and black. He would cut his hair and do a parting there. He wore brogues, English brogues, solid shoes. One of the few to own a bicycle in the community. He would ride the bicycle from my village to Jos to go and teach. And children will gather on the road from community to community, hailing them as they are passing with their bicycles. They put little pins on the wheels so that when the bicycle is moving, the flags made of leather are flapping through the rim. And you hear tut, 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 tut. And we thought, my, that's our father's bicycle. This was the man we were sitting with the doctor with. And the doctor checked him, checked his BP, checked his eyes, checked everything. I said to him, Baba, I really thank God because you are all right. Then my dad said, doctor, he said yes. He said, you checked my head, you checked my back, you listened to my lungs, you checked this hand, but you have not checked this hand. So I said to him in horror, why are you disgracing us now? What kind of question is that? You know what? In my mind, I thought my dad was 60. In fact, I thought he was 40. That sharp, agile, astute teacher. You get what I'm saying? Very spot on. My dad would never make such a statement. It's below him. You know, my dad was well traveled, well read, well knowledgeable. He didn't travel far. I'm talking of northern Nigeria. He traveled very well. I know some of you, when I say traveled, you would think he went to Cameroon. When he was to go to Cameroon for one conference, we sold 2 brand new agbada for him, just for that conference. He's going abroad. Where? Cameroon. Then they told him that they speak French there. So he said, oh, what is he going to be saying? We said, bonjour. He said, what's that? You know. Then I said to him, why are you talking like that? He said, well, the doctor checked this hand. I said, no, they drew blood from this hand. He said they should have checked this hand too. So the doctor made a comment about his age. I said, Baba, you need to understand. So I didn't like that. Then I took his card and I saw his age, 94. I didn't know. I thought my dad was 30. So I said to him, are you really up to 90? He said, how old are you? So I was 40. He said to me, so add that to my age when I had you. Then it occurred to me, man, this might be the last visit we'll have with the doctor. And I've not done anything for him. I bought him a pair of shoes. And I brought the shoes to him. And he wore them. My dad is a very thankful guy. And he said, oh, thank you. I love the shoes. They remind me of 1940 something. Because they were like the brogues he used to wear. They were bought from a street in London called Edgware Road. It was the go-to place then for leather. You know, snake skin, leopard skin shoes, you know, every kind of shoe. Skin, rather. I bought correct British brogues for him. And then he wore them where he was sitting, didn't stand up. So we had to help him wear them. And tied the laces. Then after a while, I followed my mom out and I was harassing her in the kitchen. And when I came back, he left the shoes by the chair there. And I didn't see him. I thought he went to the restroom. So I was unhappy. He should be wearing the shoes everywhere. That's what he normally will do. I went inside and I found him sleeping. I came back and asked his wife, what's wrong with your husband? She said, like what? I said, the shoes I bought for him. Doesn't he like them? She said, he loves, did you hear he was celebrating you, his son and everything? I said, but he left them by the chair and went inside. She said, go inside and ask him now. You are his party. Ask him why. If he doesn't like it, you'll know why now. Then you can change it. So I went inside. And I said, Mr. G. He said, yeah. I said, what are you doing? He said, he just felt like sleeping and resting a little. So he can get up and gist with me some more. I said, don't you like the shoes I bought for you? He said, I love them. He said, those are the kind of shoes I used in toasting your mom that time. She couldn't resist me. And my mom would be saying, don't mind him. You know, and they are using me to toast again. And I said, no, but why did you leave them? It's not like you. You would have worn them even to sleep on the bed. I would be happy. You get what I'm saying? And he said to me, he said, no, they are too heavy. They are too heavy. But this is the time when I want to reward you for being my father. And my gifts are too heavy. So now, When I go to buy shoes, I have to weigh them to look for the kind of weight that he would wear. Now that's what happens when time creeps up on you. Suddenly, your mom, you buy her suya, and she would normally be excited, but you can't eat it now because the doctors have said, know this, know that, know that. Why does life always terminate at such a point when you can't reward those who deserve the reward that you carry? We all labor looking for that time, forward to that time, isn't it? One would bless them. So parents die suddenly on children because the children continuously exploit the strength, and many of the times that strength has become weakness of their parents without regard to studying time. And suddenly they wake up and find out that I'm 40, but that means mommy had me when she was 40. That means today she's 80. We're in a hurry to say, I've grown up. And we forgot that they had grown up and started growing down because of the burden of carrying us. I'm saying this tonight, so maybe, it's a word of knowledge. Someone's going to get out of church and call their mom, and call their dad and chat with them. Stop saying my mom is always disturbing me with useless chat, and then she want me to stay on the phone for 30 minutes as if I don't have work. Now that's the only reward you can give. Anyway, back to my story.